Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of Fractured Orders, episode 12. Glad y'all could be here today. We're going to go ahead and jump right back into it, with the crew needing to decide what their next move is. Although I think we still have to figure out, go talk to the Slicer. We'll see if that's what they want to do next.
Possibly, I don't know.
Hello, everyone.
Oh.
Hello.
Endless, are you on better connection now? You can hear us fine?
Yes. There's one thing I forgot about that I wanted to do, because if we're going on equipment runs and if that one, like, stock force talk was done, I wanted to trade my macro binoculars for Electro ones, and I want to see if I want to, if I can do the whole trading thing. I mean, I know it's non-rare, you get like 15 credits from it, from like a 75 full price one. If that's
So you want to trade your macro for the Electro binocular?
Well, the thing is, I can't, because it's like there's a huge difference. But I can say, like, I want to buy this. If I give you this, I pretty much haven't used it, and it's like it hasn't taken any damage from what I know.
Yeah, so standard everything is going to be half of whatever it's worth.
So half of 75.
So round it up, and then take that off of the price of the Electro binoculars. Do you have enough for that?
I do, but it's just like, it's great that I need to, because I don't think I need two sets of binoculars, because I mean, one's better because the micros are the minimal like version, so I guess I should upgrade since I have the credits.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like calculate now and just add it, and we're gonna be good. Just one number, I'm gonna add that too.
Yeah, so you could trade the macro binoculars in for like 38 credits.
Yes. Minus 250 Electro ones.
Yeah, so if you spend 212 credits, you can get the Electro binoculars. They're not restricted; they're rarity 1. So,
That's.
In fact, macro binoculars are actually rarer than Electro binoculars because they're kind of outdated.
Well, I'm not going for like vintage. I guess I had them because I know I had them, but right. I guess, oh, this is vintage, but it's still not that like vintage.
Yeah. So 212 credits, you can have yourself a pair of Electro binoculars. No problem.
Awesome.
Cool.
So I gotta leave in about half an hour. So if we could do any like party related stuff now, and then while I'm gone, you guys can do separate.
You did mention that you had to leave early today. I apologize.
I guess let's continue. My stuff is done. I guess we should march on.
Absolutely. So I think that the only really like the next order of business really is Mouse has to go talk to this Slicer, right? So how do you approach that, Mouse? Do you want to bring everybody with you? I mean, like, specifically Zian or Jax would probably be helpful here, depending on Underworld versus negotiation tactics. Or is it something that you want to handle yourself and not really involve anybody else?
I don't know if I want to involve anyone else. So here's the thing. Like, I have that data pad, right?
Yep.
And I'm not really sure what's on it. And I'm not sure how much I can trust other people with that information.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do it alone.
Okay. With kin or without kin?
I mean, kin can come.
Okay.
Well, we've been friends for a week. That's like millennia in a group standard.
That's a good point. Good fair point.
We've been friends forever. But
I understand now. That's not my scene. That's your thing. So I guess you can say it's like I'm pretty sure at that point I forgot like, oh yeah, I forgot to buy new binoculars as Dash runs off or something.
Yeah, I don't want to
ship and all that.
I don't want to like take from like because someone's leaving early, right?
No. I got this. Don't worry. Leave your faith in me. So I think that it's probably important that Mouse and Kin, you all head off to go do that. And I think that the scene that we see back on the ship is Jax, you and Dash and Zian are still on the ship. And Jax, you're probably messing with like your new bits and pieces. And Zian, what is your next step here to like convince the crew that they have to that like what's in it for them to go to these different places that you may or may not know of, or go find perhaps more knowledge on these different places that you may not know of. How do you progress your goal from here?
Actually, I think I need to do another lore check really quick.
Okay. What for?
To find out how much I might know about a crate dragon pearl.
Sorry,
Okay.
can I just get, like, has anything important happened? I
Nope.
was on a phone call with an asshole.
Nothing has happened. Well, you're on a phone call with 4 other assholes, so...
Yeah, but your assholes I choose to talk to at this time.
Okay, good.
He was an asshole I did not choose to talk to.
Like, I figure at some point during the whole, this is a lightsaber, this is how it works, this is what you need to do, it's something you have to kind of figure out yourself, that my master would have explained, okay, here are potential, like, at one point there were these creatures that had this, there was maybe this planet that did this, maybe this.
Yeah, not necessarily a crystal, it might be some, you know, like some bits and pieces of, you know, special creatures or that kind of stuff.
So,
okay, yeah, cool. So I definitely think that's xenology in this instance. I'm going to make it average. And I will say that things like Triumph in this scenario would get you where you could find one.
Okay.
I think that this role perhaps is to know what creatures still exist. Maybe like, well, I guess to knowing where to find one would be
Kin actually have heard a lot of stories about creatures like this.
Yeah, so here's the other thing too, is back in the days of the Empire, creatures like this were probably hunted.
Yeah.
Because...
No, I was thinking more of the cap boat.
Oh, well, also, sure, fair, good point. I actually believe that there is something in actual canon about how these types of creatures were actually hunted and killed because they didn't want the chance that anyone else found these powerful items.
I think
I
feel
like
at least
I know
in
that.
terms of crate dragons, they were too rare,
and
too secretive to be very, very common.
But they were hunted as like festivals and shit.
Right.
Like crate dragon hunts were definitely a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, but like you had to get like a super advanced crate dragon to actually generate a pearl.
Right.
To where it was worth
it's got to be like an adult crate dragon. It's like, you think about D&D, right? There's the juvenile, then there's the teenager, then there's adult, then there's the ancient one. The ancient ones are the ones that actually have like the pearls that you can do stuff with.
I kind of picture that Diane is talking to himself while he's researching this, and he will hear something, and he will start retelling a story from the sea captain. And I want that to be
So you wanna lend him a blue dice, a boost dice, for your reiteration of the pirate captain's stories.
The desert. The one time we had a desert ship, and there was the huge dragon. He called it.
Yeah, it's another dragon that attacked him for sure.
No.
And he protected a horde in his belly.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna reprogram you.
Anyway,
perfect. Yeah, you can definitely have a boost dice for that. So why don't you roll a xenology check? It's just average with that extra boost dice.
Oh, something's going wrong with my character.
By the way, I would like to mention I could
again.
charm the horns off.
Okay, now I have 7 dark side points.
Okay, my
you wanted to spend one, so it's 5 and so it's 4 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Roll20 seems to be having some lag issues today, a little bit.
Okay.
So we're good now. I've force updated everybody's pools,
Okay.
And I will add the upgrade to your side and roll when ready. Hey! Yeah. So
like
Did I just find us a big game to hunt?
I would like to point out that
With
the
a bunch of money,
success,
potentially?
yeah, and an advantage.
let's see. So you said it. You said Great Dragon. So let's see what are some possible locations where you might find a Crate Dragon. Basically anywhere, right? Because that's a weird thing about Crate Dragons is
I thought they were native to. They were only found on Tatooine.
So no, not necessarily. So that's actually something that's yes, primarily that's where they kind of like started in Tatooine. But there are reports of them in other places as well. Whether or not they were relocated there specifically, like as part of a relocation process, or if there's some weird thing about, because like we said, they're like some of the most epic beasts that exist.
And they were like transported around by Sith Lords at some point.
Right. So they could be living anywhere.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I think that your success here is obviously going to tell you that Tatooine has a chance. Like, yeah, I think maybe you know, or maybe you find a snippet somewhere about some long forgotten hunt for Krayt Dragon pearls, or Krayt Dragon specifically. But I think that you're like, okay, yeah, Krayt Dragon, sure. But the thing that stands out is, thousands of years ago, somebody discovered a pearl that they had pulled from one of the beasts, right? Like this immaculate pearl that then resided in his family's home for so long. Like it's some mythological tale, but Tatooine is definitely an option. But I do think that there are probably some opportunities to find some stuff other places.
Yeah.
If that is something you are interested
in. Yeah, I don't really care where we can find it. I just want that Triumph to guarantee that wherever we decide to go is going to have this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is totally fair.
And that's if the group would like to hunt a Krayt Dragon. And I'll kind of point out that there's a lot of potential money, even if, like, if there's a single pearl, we can sell it and make a quadrillion or whatever.
So here's the deal.
We wouldn't be selling it, would we?
Well, if it makes more money than it costs to buy a lightsaber crystal, it makes way more sense to just sell it.
Right, yeah, so that's an option as well. There is opportunity, like, the pearls are not the only thing you sell from a Krayt Dragon, right? Like, there are a multitude of other things. Now, here's the deal. Speaking of Tatooine, Jax, maybe like they have their eureka moment, right? Where like Kin and Xian like start shouting like, we found it, and you walk in and they said Tatooine, that's where they're like, that's the home world of them.
Sorry, I'm super confused because I was only kind of listening earlier because I was on the phone with the asshole. I thought Kin went off with Mouse.
Oh, totally, but this is totally not that because we retconned that because I'm an idiot.
Oh.
It's okay, we're chopping up time.
Mouse is getting ready to leave and Kin is helping.
Okay, cool.
Good call though.
Alright. I thought I was just, like, I did not, like, I basically was kind of listening to the asshole, kind of listening to you guys, and I was like, are you bringing Jax? No, and I was like, okay, asshole, now you have my attention.
Yeah, so here's the deal, as you walk in on this, Jax, they're cheering and celebrating, at, like, tracking down where they might be able to find one of these things. Xian probably at one point says, Tatooine, we have to go to Tatooine. And you get that kind of like that fuzzy tingly feeling in the back of your head, right? Like when almost like you feel like you're gonna pass out, but like you're kind of like in shock a little bit. Because Tatooine, maybe not everyone else knows, but that Tatooine actually houses the headquarters for the Arcana Syndicate. So, you might not only be
Yeah.
useful here, but also that also might have complications.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you're
no,
not
definitely.
really part of that crew right now. Although maybe there is some opportunity to ingratiate yourself as well. You know, maybe you can convince, like, maybe you do go crate dragon hunting, and maybe you do kill a crate dragon, and then maybe you do try to find a seller. I know somebody who buys illicit goods on this planet. Perhaps they can do something with this.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you see this as a way to kind of forward momentum your stuff. But also, you know that there also is this thing where if people are poaching, quote unquote, Arcanus might have a problem with that, right? Like, they might have a problem with people just showing up and hunting crate dragons in their backyard. Don't know. Might be something to look into. So do you approach that conversation at all?
Not yet. Sorry.
And as you stand there listening, we hear the reiterating God. Yar. There was.
So first of all, I think that while they're all celebrating and talking about going to Tatooine, first of all, Jax doesn't want to. He's still not comfortable pushing his shit on other people. That's one thing. Secondly, he's gonna take some time to figure out.
I'm assuming he just read Roll20 chat.
No, I didn't just read Roll20 chat. I just read Orders chat that goes alongside Roll20 chat. Basically, Jax is still making up his mind. There's pros and cons for him in both situations.
Yeah. I think conflicted is the correct way to feel about this.
Yeah, he's incredibly conflicted, and he's musing. He's trying to decide what he's gonna do.
Okay. So yeah, as Kin, who's imitating the pirate captain's voice, and Zian, who's becoming excited at the prospect of perhaps becoming one step closer to his goals, we see brooding, conflicted Jax in the walk past the hallway, kind of peek the head in and listen, and then just kind of have a troubled look on his face, and then continue on down the hallway. So I guess before Mouse leaves on her trip, is there another group meeting where we say, hey, what's next? And I guess I should ask Zian, do you say, hey, I think I know how we can make some more money?
Yeah, it's I'll kind of ask Jax, hey, remember I asked you to look into those things a while ago? Well, I did some research of my own, and there's potentially somewhere out there to find them, but I can't figure out how to find that yet, and I think somewhere in the Outer Rim is a better place to look for stuff like that. But I've also remembered and figured out with the help of Kin that a crate dragon pearl can either function as a lightsaber crystal, or it can be sold for an incredible amount of money plus all the other stuff, and kind of explain if we're looking for some money, this might be a way to get a bunch of money.
Alright, so because someone has started the conversation with Jax, he's just gonna start partially explaining, partially thinking out loud. I have no problems in theory with helping you hunt a crate dragon, either for this pearl or for the money we would get from the pieces. However, I must warn you that Tatooine is where my former how would he former
Employer.
no, that's what I was thinking. No, it's like former bosses have their stronghold, and they will not take kindly to people going there to hunt dragons without getting their permission, and they probably won't take kindly to me at the moment. That being said, and I will then explain to Zian and whoever else is in the room. I think Mouse already knows this. You know how he was part of the team, and he'll explain as well that like his team was the rival and superior team to the team of the Mandalorian we met earlier, and how my team was betrayed, everyone was killed, and that's why I'm kind of on the outs with Arcanis right now. I will then say, however, if we figure out what my Striker is up to, and we either assist her or complete her task, that might gain us the favor with Arcanis that I could then use to maybe have them look the other way, or give us their blessing to go hunt a Krayt dragon.
Well, that seems reasonable to me. If this is what everybody wants to, this is like. Zian's
Look,
like,
at the
I
end
just
of the
want to make this
day,
cool. This is just me suggesting.
At the end of the day, you're suggesting something that helps you, and quite frankly, will help me. But if we get a shitload of money from it, it helps us all. And like, we're not doing anything else right now.
Yeah, we're not doing anything else, and also more credits never hurt anybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna do a job for credits, we might as well do a lucrative job for credits that helps us at some level on an individual. This will help at least two of us.
Well, and the end, like pointing out, it doesn't make sense if we manage to get a pearl that is worth like book prices is like 18,000 credits or something like that for a lightsaber quality crystal. It doesn't make sense to just use that when it can be sold for the price of another quality crystal and then some. So he's more than like, hey, look, if this is what happens, we'll share the wealth on that and go to the next step.
How pragmatic of you.
Zian is a pragmatic guy.
Perfect. Cool. And I think that Jaxa's probably 100% on board, right? Like if you find a way to increase your duty before you even get there, that's
exactly.
A plus 100%.
Jax thinks
Jax thinks
if we can figure out what Maya's up to, get some brownie points, head to Arcana and head to Tatooine, and there's a part of him that's also thinking and show Arcanis that like he's doing okay while on the outs. Like it's not the end of the world for him.
Yeah.
Which I think he would quite appreciate.
And they like people who are independently able to do things on their own. Cool.
So yeah, Jax is down. He really does. He wants to. Also, he wants to. What's it called? Chat to. He wants to do some gun modding stuff. But if we're about to do a long journey, that can happen. En route.
During the trip.
But we all know. We all know that Mouse wants to go see the slicer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's so. Like aware that is a thing, but I would assume that there's just like a moment where everybody's like sitting around the table and goes like, "Hey, where's Mouse?" Right? And then like we get the next scene is her and Kin walking like into the Slicer's bar or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's just like basically the only thing I'm going through there is that in theory, Jax is like, we have a plan to go, an end goal to kind of go hunt this dragon. There are things that need to happen before then. Mouse needs to talk to her Slicer. I want to figure out what's going on with which will help us with that dragon thing. But like kind of saying, look, good plan, down for the plan, but like this ain't happening today, type thing.
Right. We gotta do stuff here. We gotta do like step 1 of the quest. You know, that's like end goal. We gotta get attuned to Onyxia's lair here.
Correct. Good example. Yes, that seems great.
I swear, if we have to do jailbreak, though, I'm out.
Listen, I would never be that cruel.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, what's up?
Side quest while Mouse is gone. Could I combat her excellent roll to shut off any
You can
action?
try, but if I remember,
I want to do that shit.
If I remember, Mouse got like 2 triumphs on that shit. So like, it was an absolutely ridiculous roll.
Yeah, she did.
No, I think that's.
There was 1 triumph so she had full access, and the other to prevent it from playing country music ever again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna only shut off the full access. Country music, I don't like it anyway.
No. One of the triumphs let her turn off the country music. The other triumph gave her
full access.
An incidental that she can access this thing.
I'm gonna combat it. I'm gonna try and combat that.
We will see. We will see if that. I'll always give you the roll. But we
like a contested roll against her mechanics.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that for sure.
Can I assist Mouse?
Possibly.
Anyway.
Also, can I just say, I like how the most controversial PC versus PC action is who can control the speaker system inside the ship more effectively.
Yeah.
Look, having control of the radio on a road trip is like the most important thing.
You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Cool. Okay. So
you gotta head out. No problem. You know, just use me for buff bot, whatever needs to be done to negotiate or help out with anything.
Don't worry, I promise you won't die.
I mean, again, it's almost impossible to die in this game.
That is the limit at which I am willing to promise.
Alright, have fun.
It's impossible to get mutilated, though.
Yes, but then you can always get, like, cool cybernetic arms.
It's true. It's just, getting mutilated is just an excuse to become cooler.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm really hoping I get mutilated.
I don't think those words have ever been spoken before. I'm just going to throw it out there. I think that particular series of statements...
I'm now picturing it. Mouse kind of comes back to the ship. She's got a cybernetic arm. She's got all these gadgets on. And she just goes, Zian, cut off my arm. There's mechanics on her own arm.
I don't want Zian to cut off an arm. That's just going to cauterize.
I don't think Mouse is mad scientist enough to do that, but
yet
crossed my mind.
Yeah. The operative term is yet.
All right.
See you, Z. Thanks for showing up. So
let's kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone attack Z.
Kin Heresy.
And Zian goes out the airlock. So great, fantastic.
Mouse gets Zian's lightsaber hilt and gets to study it.
Exactly. So I think that the appropriate next scene here is probably, I want to get to that slicer scene. Where maybe Zian's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna go meditate, and Jack's you're like, okay, yeah, sure. And then like Dash is also in there, and then you just look at each other like, I haven't seen Kin or Mouse in a while, right? And then as you say that, we slash cut over to
Dash has got like the speaker system open, is pulling wires.
Yeah, exactly. Dash like runs over and starts messing around with stuff.
I'm more pragmatic than that.
So Mouse and Kin.
How did she do it? I don't understand.
I think that yeah, exactly. I think the place you meet this guy is it's probably a you know what? It's probably not even a public place.
It's probably his house.
Well, I think it's like an abandoned warehouse somewhere, right? Like it's actually probably a bit more like spy versus spy than that, right?
I was imagining like a dirty like hacker's house, like
Yeah, maybe that's the next step. Maybe if you earn his good trust, maybe that's where you end up. But I think that like the initial meeting, because this is a slicer, right? And he's probably not all the way on the side of the law here, right?
Right.
He has to protect
So
himself.
he has to protect himself a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So as you approach like the kind of the more run down part of the city of Avali, you're probably more and more glad you took Kin along, because it kind of prevents people from coming up and talking to you because Kin is giant. And also again, remember just to describe the situation here, Avali is heavy on the droid work, right? Because they manufacture quite a bit of droids here, and all of them have very specific functions, and Kin's function in this, like, the two of you scenario is probably bodyguard, right? Like, that's most people that look probably be like, oh, that's a person who has a droid guard. Like, they're important. We don't need to mess with them. Let's just keep going on our way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's allowing you to kind of cut a path through the din of.
Although Ken is a little scuffled, like he does have like fusion marks and stuff like that.
It's
like,
true.
From welding marks.
It's true. Yeah.
I think that doesn't really make him less threatening.
Oh no, I'm just
perhaps
saying
not less threatening, but definitely probably it makes you look a bit
lower quality.
Yeah, a bit secondhand, perhaps. Although, like, I think that what you're getting at in here is that you look used, and a used bodyguard droid means that the fact that you're still active means you won, right? Like that's
you survived,
right? Yeah, like that's the big key there, is like the fact that you are still active. Either you lost and were rebuilt, but I think they can tell there's not that much damage, right? Or like you succeeded. Exactly. Do you want to know how I got these scars? Exactly.
It's basically like the same as like if you see like a real bodyguard, you assume that the one with all the scars.
Yeah, that's probably the most badass one. You don't want to mess with him, right?
Rather than the fresh-faced guy.
Yeah, the young kid bodyguard. That's the one you want to mess with because he doesn't know any better. Yeah, absolutely. So as you progress and you duck into some side streets and some alleys, and again, Valley, it's all city, right? So it's very tall, very skyscrapery, although very clean air again. Kid, that doesn't matter for you, obviously, but hey, there you go.
I'm not used to this. Like, I'm also nervous because like there's a bunch of people around.
Right. Yeah. So maybe you're doing a thing where you're kind of like tucked in the shadow of Kin a little bit.
I'm kind of like wringing my hands. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Do you have your fancy rifle with you now? Is it and is it still in a case, or is it like strapped to your back now?
Well, it's not a restricted rifle, so I can
it is not
pretty much openly carry it. So I do have it like strapped over my shoulder.
Okay.
I know like weapon straps are like a mod technically, but I'm just saying it has a strap.
Weapon straps that do things mechanically are a mod. You can totally have one and not have to worry about it.
My gun has 5 straps. They don't do anything.
That's exactly correct.
Just straps upon straps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're proceeding down, you get into you start to descend a little bit. Like you're kind of going into the underbelly, kind of the undercity area. And so natural light's kind of blocked out, and you're bathed in this dim hollow light that kind of illuminates this whole area that you're
instantly
in now.
Feels better.
Right, yeah, exactly, right? Instantly you're probably like, oh, thank God, but I'm not going to fall off the planet anymore.
Yeah, I'm not going to fall into the sky.
Yeah, exactly. You're basically a dwarf from Dragon Age now.
Well, I mean, like, I spent my entire life on a ship, so...
No, totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. So as you begin meandering your way through the narrow streets, you eventually get to the place where you're supposed to be. You have your... it has like the address listed upon it, and you slide like the large elephant door to the side, and it kind of creaks open with this like nasty gritting metal on metal sound.
Yeah.
Or I should say, Kin does that because
he's stronger.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. And as you enter in, Kin, you walk in and then you close it behind you, right? And you kind of get that creaking sound. You can see that there's a bunch of dust that's kind of been blown up from the entrance of you all walking in, and you can see the couple of lights that kind of line the warehouse ceiling, which is pretty high. There's nothing in here. There's a couple of empty racks, right? A couple of empty metal racks There's probably like a couple of crates that have toppled over and like shattered or broken. They don't appear to have had any, or they don't appear to have anything in them anymore. It's just like packing material that's all kind of spewed across the ground. But overall, you can see from one end to the other, it's a pretty open area. But you can tell that this place hasn't been used in quite some time because the particles, you can get to see them floating in that light there. It also smells perhaps a bit deteriorated in here. Just that kind of like old smell. I don't really know how to describe it, but you know what I mean.
Like rusty metal? Or...
Yeah, like rusty metal, perhaps. That's probably like coppery smell. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
There's like a dull coppery smell in this warehouse.
Smells like home.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So as you kind of like walk out, there's a large like open area kind of in the middle past like the couple of racks that are up against the wall area. And it doesn't appear like there's anybody here when you first arrive. And it's pretty clear that you guys came in, the entrance that you guys came in through is, you're the only ones that have come through that entrance. There are obviously like a couple of other doors and other elephant doors like around the area, but like the main entrance that you guys came through, you were very clearly the first ones to be here.
Hello? And I kind of look around.
Yeah.
Mouse is not the smart one. Like, yeah. She's basically calling out.
Yeah, so I guess the other thing is, how much did you like? You told Kin that you're coming here to meet the Slicer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're meeting a Slicer.
Yeah, so I think that why don't each of you roll me a perception check? It's average, so just
Sure thing. You
not
ready?
necessarily. Yeah, go for it.
But you.
Damn.
Jeez.
I'll take.
Okay, Kin. Alright, what are we gonna do with? Don't worry about the strain. I'm not gonna strain you here.
Okay.
But your success does matter. Kin, I will add strain to you, however. So why don't you go ahead and take 2 strain? Because you're probably like on lookout, like high alert, right? So
yeah.
Your optical sensors are like on overdrive, trying to pick out anywhere where a threat could come from. And so you're straining yourself a little bit to do that. You're obviously not doing it well, though. You're perhaps a little bit unattuned to your current scenario. But Mouse, as you look around, like you were saying earlier, you feel more of a sense at home. And you see, kind of located in a pile of rubble almost, there's a holo projector. And I think that your success, you notice like there's a blinking light on this holo projector, and as you approach, I think you realize that the rubble that's kind of over the holo projector has been placed here. Because you like look around and you see like this rubble couldn't have come from anything, right? Like,
yeah,
there's no broken stone or metal here. So you realize that it's kind of been like used as cover for this particular location. There's also like quite a bit of it, like it's heavy and kind of sitting over top of it. So do you want to like move that out of the way, or
yeah,
try and inspect it through there? How do you want to handle it? It looks like this holo projector itself looks like it's wired into like the ground, like directly below it. So there's no like wires that come off of it anywhere. And it's powered that way as well.
I see.
And sorry, one more thing is the blinking light. It appears like there is like data that's on it, like kind of like not the record light on a thing, but there's like maybe like a message light.
Yeah. So I guess I would like Ken to move the rubble.
Yeah.
I would point it out to him.
Yeah, Ken could get that out of the way for sure. Just because I want to make sure there's nothing terrible that happens. Like bad news from
don't crush
Ken.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you roll an athletics check? It's going to be an easy check, but I'm upgrading it because on a despair there's something terribly wrong that happens. No, you're totally fine. Jesus, that is a lot of success. So yeah, I think that the image we get is Ken, you just pick it all up in one go, and Mouse is like, oh, don't crush it, and then just like throw it out of the way. It's just gone.
Good job, Ken.
Thank you.
So yeah, so now that you can get a better look at this this device, it definitely is. It appears that there was some data left on the holo projector.
I playfully punch Ken's shoulder, but then I like shake my hand, like I heard it.
Yeah, you kind of like massage your knuckles, like that hurt.
Ow!
I punch her back.
Ah! Oh, mouse just falls over.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Careful. All right. So I guess like, would it be like a computer's check to like access this thing, or
No, I think you just gotta hit the play button.
Oh, okay, cool. Play button.
Yeah, and so it kind of takes a moment and like kind of.
It's connected to like the building, right? So
yeah,
like...
so like it powers it. Its power conduit is like below it. So like it's resting on the floor, right? The floor of this dusty warehouse. And it's wired in through the base of it. And it's kind of settled in like the center of this warehouse.
Question: would pushing the play button cause an issue of some kind? Like, because I know I'm dealing with a slicer, so like, there's a possibility that if I do press the play button, that there's a like a feedback or something like that, or
instead of determining how to play it, would you like to make a computer's roll to see maybe if this is like a booby trap of some sort or something like that? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is fair. Well, I guess it is computers or mechanics depending on how you want to approach the situation.
I think computers would probably be more more
so instead of
more information.
Yeah, so instead of accessing the data, you just want to access the system and make sure there's nothing funky with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't think there's a physical booby trap. Like, I don't think he's gonna blow it up or anything.
Right. Yeah, and he's here for a meeting, right? Like, it is little potential that he's gonna do something funky, but also they're slicers, and you can never really tell what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be a paranoid nut job and have something going on. And
right,
plus, being a scavenger, I'm used to like traps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily like people placing traps, but just like natural over time things happening that create traps.
So I'm gonna make it a hard check, and I'm also gonna use a dark side point in this scenario.
All right, I'll let you do that. I'm not gonna flip back.
All right, cool. So we're back to where we started the day with. And why don't you go ahead and roll a computer check?
Sure thing. I got a threat.
Yeah, so take a strain for that. Take a strain for that, and I think that you don't really find anything. But also the stress here is just like, this is really weird. Like, this is a whole weird scenario, but nothing looks wrong, so I guess everything's fine.
Nothing looks wrong. I guess I'll just press the play button.
Yeah. And so I think that you press the play button and we get the slow motion where all the lights turn off, right?
Of course.
And then like there's that moment of like the only light is Kin's eyes that are like slightly glowing and like they kind of in and out where they're dilating, right? To adjust.
Those little like photo lenses.
Right, exactly.
Apertures.
Yeah. Apertures, yeah. Where they're trying to like adjust to the new light. And then like the holo display like sparks to life. And I think that you see it's not a display of like the full figure of someone, it's just their face. And by their face, what I mean to say is you see a large helmed head. We as players we as players would recognize this as a stormtrooper helmet. Right? So that's the just to give you the imagery of what you see.
So I do want to mention lore, just fluff wise, Mouse has worked on Empire, like old Empire type stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she also wears like an Imperial officer's hat everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's possible she's seen one of these before.
Definitely
might
possible.
Not know what it is.
If you'd like, you can make a lore check. I think it's an average check just to know what it is. Just average.
Would that be military?
Gonna be
warfare?
Warfare, yes, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
So
no.
reduce the strain because you're like, oh, thank God, it's just the lights turning off, right? Like your reduction in strain here is okay. We didn't die. That's great.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
not sure what it is.
you're not sure what the helmet is. In fact, maybe you're like, that kind of looks like that, but I don't. It doesn't really matter at this point.
They're usually like cracked and broken and.
Right. Yeah, it's very rare to see one intact. Sure.
So it's probably not one of those.
Right.
Ken will probably know what it was.
That's a good point, Ken.
Yeah, he will recognize like that.
Yeah, actually, hold on. Ken, I don't even think I'm gonna make you roll for it because this is specifically your character stuff.
Like, you don't have to say it out loud, but...
No, I'm typing it to him.
Oh, okay. Oh, I meant Ken doesn't have to say it out loud.
Well, he might want to.
This is character secrets or whatever?
Well, yes and no. I want to know if he is aware of, like... If he wants his programming to respond in a certain way.
My medicine's, like, kicking in. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be
no
right
problem.
back.
So you recognize it as that rank and file, Ken.
Okay, and I'm seeing this just as as a projection.
Yeah, it's a hollow projection. So I think that perhaps while we wait for Mouse to get back really quick, we go back to the ship just briefly with Jax and Dash. So I think that as the group of you are sitting there, Jax, do you want to try and perhaps like find out what's going on with Mai, right? That's kind of one of the overarching goals here.
That's if he's on the ship and we've made this kind of loose plan of action, and Mouse isn't there to help him so he can talk about guns and modding them, then his next priority would be anything Mai or Arcanist related on Druckenwell.
Yeah, so here's the deal. So you're well aware that you're not going to get information from her, right? Like we tried that ship has sailed. So would there be another approach that you would take? Would you like maybe look for things going on in this, like on the planet, to see if you can correlate something?
I would either, and I'd probably do both. Actually, I'd probably do both these things. One, I would try and see if I can, just looking through, like, not necessarily news, but like activity, to see if any names pop up from Mac's dealings. Because while Jax was not in charge, he was basically Mac's second in command, and Mac was in charge. So Jax will have known some people, heard, there'll be names, all right? Even if it's just sometimes Mac would have been, hey, can you go grab this guy and tell him to meet me or something, So there's some names that might ring out to him. And then also just getting a sense of what is going on at the moment. Why would a cleaner team be here?
Right, sure.
So why don't the plan B thing, right? The cleaner teams?
Right, yeah,
I still don't 100% know what that is.
Yeah, so if something goes bad, right? If there is either something that goes bad or there is some competition that needs eliminated, or if like another thing too is like cleaner teams could also be used for production details. If either VIPs or
it's basically the military arm, effectively, of Arcanist.
Yeah,
sweet.
So I think that your best bet is probably just like looking at a generalized what's going on the planet right now.
Cool.
So why don't you make me a quick roll? I actually think this is computers, just to like search through what's going on right now to see if you can locate something that might help.
Can my data-pad help him in any way?
Yeah, so like I guess the deal is, do you share this with Dash? Because Dash could probably try and help you in any way.
So I would imagine after everything, Jax would have gone to what he calls the armory, which is just one of the suites, one of the non-bedroom suites of the ship, where he's kind of just, he's got whatever and that's just kind of where he chills.
Yeah.
So he would be there doing his research. So I would not have told Dash what I was doing or where I was going, but if Dash were to seek me out, he would know where to find me.
I guess that if I happen to come upon you, maybe for like the thing. This beer is not doing wonders for me. Jeez, I shouldn't have drank alcohol on an empty stomach. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was
trying
in
to say
character.
Don't worry about it. So as I was saying, if I happen to like, if I'm going through on a hellbent to fix this, I happen to see like Drax in the armory just like checking out something. It's like normally he checks out his guns in the armory. It's like I happen to pass doorway or something because it's like unfortunately we haven't set up to the where it's like it only opens with a switch. It opens with kind of like movement sense, and I see him is kind of like he kind of like goes into the doorway and says like, "Hey Jax, you what are you doing? You're normally checking out your guns. Do you need help with information? I got this." As he shows off a brand new data pad that he recently bought. That you probably maybe have seen after he takes it out of the box, and he was kind of like setting it up as
you're just showing it to everybody like multiple times.
I'll say I'm trying to figure out why Mai and I'm assuming her team might be here. So I'm just trying to see if I can see find anything that's going on locally on Druckenwell that could cause there to be a requirement of a cleaner team.
Okay, so the thing is, like, I know that general information won't be found, but could I maybe roll a underground or maybe a skullduggery check, even though I'm kind of like not adept, maybe just like like dark web, kind of like
I have an idea.
Beginner's like luck to find something. Share your idea.
So right, this would be it would start off being a computer's check for Jax.
Yeah, it's
to navigate systems and know where to look and how to use the computer to find things. And that's not something that Jax would be very good at. So maybe you could roll a check to see if you can help me log into something so that I could to then make it easier for me to do the computer check.
Yeah, so essentially you could take over the computer check if you wanted to, Dash, if you're better at computers than he is.
Well, I guess this could be practice to see if I can show mouse in her face that doesn't mess with my stuff because I have some luck. Even though if I'm not as long.
So, Dash, why don't you roll a computer check for me? It's average, and I'm giving you a blue dice because technically Jax is assisting you here.
Technically. It's like he's saying, like, look at this side may have some stuff he's trying to, like, just point it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
I'm gonna save a light side destiny point for one-upping mouse, but for now I'm gonna not look for assistance. I'm just gonna try and be,
fair.